I know you're probably sitting wherever you are and thinking to yourself, damn, the Dando man looks so dope. Well, that is true. I also know that you're thinking to yourself, I know the valid requirements it takes in order to make a contract valid thanks to the Dando man. I also know the different types of terms which exist and the different types of impossibilities which exist in a contract thanks to the Dando man. But what happens if somebody does not meet their obligations or fulfill their obligations in terms of the contract? What happens if someone does not do what they're supposed to do in terms of the contract? Well, that is basically called the breach of contract. And guess what? The Dando man has you covered, because I'll be telling you more about the different types of breaches which exist in a contract. Let's get right to it. What's up, famo? What's up, Dando Nation? It is me, the Dando Man, the best there is, there was, and there is to come. Welcome once again to Talking Smart to the Dando Man. In this channel, we equip you as an entrepreneur with the skills, tools, and information you need in order to start and grow your business. So if you're interested in content like that, consider subscribing and liking this video, because I know you're going to enjoy it. The confidence of a cool kid right there. I'm looking so fine, aren't I? I should wear this often, I know. Anyways, today I'll be telling you about the different types of breaches which exist in a contract, but I'll highly suggest that you check out our contract series, whereby I gave an introduction to what contracts were and all the mumbo jumbo about contracts. Anyways, let's get to it. Basically, as I explained earlier on, a breach of contract is when somebody does not fulfill their obligations in terms of the contract. Now, there are different types of breaches which exist in a contract, and I'll be explaining them to you right now. The first type of breach which exists in a contract is what we call a more debitoris. Basically, a more debitoris is a breach by the debtor, whereby the debtor fails to perform on time. So, for example, you buy a car from me, the Dando Man, and I deliver the car to you, but you don't deliver the payment when it's due, and that is basically a breach of contract by more debitoris. The next type of breach which exists is what we call more creditoris. As you might have guessed, this is basically a breach by the creditor. You're probably asking yourself, how does a creditor breach a contract when the only thing they do is accept the performance? Basically, more creditoris is when the creditor fails to accept the performance from the debtor. This is only possible if the debtor requires the cooperation of the creditor in order to be able to perform. So, for example, I order some nice wedding cakes from Gugu the baker. By the way, those cakes are off the chain, man. Like, damn, man, like, yo, man, like, thinking about them right now is making me go crazy. And this is not a sponsored video, so I wouldn't lie to you. The Dando Man wouldn't lie. Anyways, let me get back to the video. So I ordered them nice, delicious cakes from Gugu the baker. And so then Gugu the baker comes to the wedding with them delicious cakes, fully prepared to deliver the cake. But when he comes there, the venue is locked. What? And then he comes and tries to call me, but when he calls me, I'm nowhere to be found. So basically, I've failed to accept the performance from Gugu the baker, and I won't be able to taste them cakes because I have breached the contract by more creditoris. That's such a shame, man. I was looking forward to them cakes and that wedding. Anyways, the next type of breach of contract which exists is what we call a repudiation. Basically, repudiation is when the debtor gives notice that they won't be able to continue fulfilling their performance in terms of the contract. So, for example, I basically hire a construction company to build me a mansion. And guess what? We conclude the contract, they build. But 3 months in, they tell me they won't be able to complete building my mansion. What the hell, man? I was looking forward to my mansion. I conclude a contract with you guys. What the hell? Why would you do that? Hey, don't explain, because you just breached a contract by repudiation, punk. I'm so sorry about that. I got carried away. Anyways, that's an example of a breach by repudiation. Then the fourth type of a breach of contract is basically rendering performance impossibility. I did tell you guys a few weeks ago about the different types of impossibilities which exist in a contract. Basically, a breach by rendering the performance impossible is when one of the contracting parties does something or fails to do something, and that act or omission causes the performance to be impossible. The fault must lie with one of the contracting parties in order for it to be a breach by rendering the performance impossible. So, for example, you sell me your car, and then the day before you take it for a spin, and then You crash my car. You basically crashed the car which I'm supposed to buy for you, and you've crashed it in such a way that is irreparable. Basically, you've rendered the performance impossible. Man, what would you do that to me, man? I wanted to drive that car. Like, what the hell, man? Like, don't talk to me right now. Don't talk to me right now. Because you just breached the contract by rendering the performance impossible. Anyways, the next type of breach of contract is breach by positive malperformance. This one's stupid because guess what? The contracting party actually does perform. However, the performance is wrong.
Kingston jaw and face planted.
Oh, I give up with you. I really do give up with you. So for example, I order a chocolate cake, not from Google the Baker. He gets his orders right. And guess what? You bring me a red velvet cake. You've performed, but you haven't performed according to the contract. And that is breach by positive malperformance. Because you are stupid. Get out of here, man. I don't want to see you, man. Why would you do that to me? Why would you do that to me? Because we just concluded a contract. I told you I want a chocolate cake. But you bring me a red velvet. I don't like red velvet, man. Why would you do that to me? Just lost yourself a customer. Because you just breached a contract by positive malperformance. You suck. You suck. Yeah. Okay. Dando man, calm down. Dando man, calm down, please. Don't let them get to you. Don't let them get to you. Anyways, so those are the different types of breaches of a contract which exist. Please, don't be that entrepreneur which breaches a contract. Don't be that business which breaches contracts. Be the kind of person, kind of business person which honors their contracts, just like the Dando man. Because I promised you guys that I'm going to be delivering to you high quality content. And this is what I'm doing. And guess what? I'm doing it in style. Oh, Dando man, don't stop it. Stop it. Oh, and I'm sure you're wondering to yourself, what happens then if someone has breached the contract by any of these means? Well, stick around for next week's video, because in next week's video I'll be telling you about the remedies that you have at your disposal when somebody breaches a contract. So let me love and leave you today. Thank you very much for joining me for today's edition of Talking Smart with the Dando Man. Please go do check out our podcast, Talking Smart with the Dando Man. It is awesome stuff, awesome content, because it is me, the Dando Man, on the driver's seat, the best there is, there was, and there is to come. And go check out our Instagram page and our Facebook page, Talking Smart and Talking Smart to the Dando Man. We've been pushing and bringing hot content on those pages for you. So please do like and follow there. And please, if you found value in this video, like this video, share it, and comment. Do whatever you want to do. And yeah, tell your friends about this channel. Tell your friends about the Dando Man, because guess what? There is no person like me. There is no other Dando Man in the world besides me. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to be loving and leaving you with a track from my friend Dave Star. Man, the boy is making me proud right there in Canada. So yeah, check his page out, check his channel out. But yeah, it's me, the Dando Man. Thank you very much for joining me. And remember, you'll never turn your dreams into a reality while you're still asleep. Oh man, I'm never wearing this again.
Just the beat in me, failure be
so
afraid
stupid.
of me. Music must be sounding like some honey, but I'm killer bee. Never losing focus on the vision, boy, you gotta see. I know that it's my time, we need